This is ABC Contemporary Radio.
Good morning, it's 6 o'clock. I'm Elliot once again from Charlie Tuna on KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles. Boy, it's Tuesday morning already in Los Angeles. If you're driving to work, I promise you I'll keep the bugs off your glass and the bears off your...
Ain't it good? Ain't it right? You are with me here tonight. Music playing, our bodies swaying in time. I see you, so warm and tender. Lord, I feel such a sweet surrender. Beautiful is the dream that makes me mine. Rock me gently, rock me slowly. Take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before. Baby, baby, rock me gently, rock me slowly. Take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before. Oh my darling, oh my baby, you got the moves that drive me crazy. And on your face, I see a trace of love. Come hold me close, don't let me go. I need you, honey, I love you so. You were made for me by the stars above. Rock me slowly, take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before. And baby, baby, rock me slowly, take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before. Rock me slowly, take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before. Ain't it good, ain't it right, that you are with me here tonight. Rock me slowly, take it easy, don't you know.
KIIS with Andy Kim and Don Elliott. Some of our younger voices on some of the jocks haven't changed yet. Yes, I necessarily include myself. Hey, let's take a look at the weather before we get things too insane in here this morning. Tuna's still on vacation for another day or so. It's going to be mostly sunny, a high in the 60s. At Civic Center, it's now 48 degrees is all. The Valley has 46. Orange County is 50. In Riverside, it's 47. San Bernardino has 48 degrees. And currently here in Hollywood, it's 45. We've got the C.W. McCall record coming up for you next. What's for breakfast?
Fresh Sunny Valley eggs, Jersey-made brand milk, and other dairy products are always a better buy at Thrifty Mart markets. And Thrifty Mart has better buys on food for your dog. Carnation's Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog are always a good buy at Thrifty Mart. Dogs love Mighty Dog beef because it's pure beef, no byproducts. You'll like the convenient single-serving can. Get Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog at Thrifty Mart markets, where you always get better buys. Remember, Mighty Dog is always a good buy at Thrifty Mart.
Well, Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. Yeah, 10-4, Big Ben, for sure. By golly, it's clean clear to Flagtown. Come on. Yeah, it's a big 10-4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, it looks like we've got us a convoy. Was the dark of the moon on the 6th of June in a Kenworth pulling logs. Cab over Pete with a reefer on and a Jimmy hauling hogs. We was heading for Bear on I-10 about a mile out of Shaky Town. I says, Big Ben, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down. Back off them hogs. 10-4, about 5 miles or so. 10 Roger, them hogs is getting intense up here. By the time we got into Tulsa town, we had 85 trucks in all. But there's a roadblock up on the cloverleaf, and them bears is wall to wall. Yeah, them smokies as thick as bugs on a bumper. They even had a bear in the air. I just calling all trucks, this here's the duck. We about to go hunting the bear. Interstate 44 like a rocket sled on rails. We tore up all of our swindle sheets and left them sitting on the scale. By the time we hit that shy town, them bears was getting smart. They brought up some reinforcements from the Illinois National Guard. There's armored cars, tanks, jeeps, and rigs of every size. Yeah, them chicken coops was full of bears, and choppers filled the skies. Well, we shot the line, we went for broke with 1,000 screaming trucks and 11 long-haired friends of Jesus in a chartreuse microbus. Yeah, rubber duck just Southbuster. Come on there, you have 10-4 Southbuster. Listen, you want to put that microbus in behind that suicide jockey? Yeah, he's all dynamite. He's all the help he can get. Well, we laid a strip for the Jersey Shore, prepared to cross the line. I could see the bridge was lined with bears, but it didn't have a doggone dime. This Big Ben, this here's a rubber duck. We just ain't going to pay no toll. So we cracked the gate doing 98. I just let them truckers roll 10-4. Buddy, we're going to back on out here so the duck's off your glass and the bear's off your tail. We'll catch you on the flip-flop. This here's a rubber duck on the side. We gone. Bye-bye.
KIIS with C.W. McCall, and it's Convoy at 6:07 this morning with Don Elliot. The first time that, this is a true story, the first time that Humble Harv heard that record when he played it, he called up the boss and he said, "We can't play that. It's about shooting bears. ESPCA." So we bought him a CB radio, and he's hooked now. For Humble Harv tonight, 6 to 10 on the FM side of things, in stereo at 102.7. If you listen on AM, it's 1150 on AM. I've got a revision in the weather forecast. Still going to be sunny, but they're predicting a high of 65 today now. Civic Center is up to 48, the Valley 45, Orange County 48, and here in Hollywood it's 47 degrees already. It's time now for Save-On's 3 great radio bargains only now through Wednesday at Save-On drugstores. The big 12-ounce bottle of Mylanta liquid is only $1.29, and Aquanet, that's the all-weather hairspray, in the 13-ounce can is only 59 cents. Also, Super Lecithin, that's the natural kelp, vinegar, and vitamin B6 dietary supplement. 100 capsules, only $2.59. That's half regular price. Great money-saving bargains from your nearby Save-On drugstore, open till 9:30 tonight. Stop these bargains. 12-ounce Mylanta liquid, only $1.29. Aquanet hairspray, 13-ounce can is only 59 cents. And Super Lecithin dietary supplement. 100 capsules, only $2.59 at Save-On. A great place to shop. And you know who you'll probably see next to you in the line as you look for your Super Lecithin, don't you? .09 on a Tuesday morning. Elliot in for Tuna and Hey Good Hardy. passing the homecoming or the home leaving if you're headed for work this morning. It's Hey Good Hearty at 6:11 with Don Elliot. Here's a snack that's better for you. Doesn't say better than what, but Johnston's Fruit Bouquet Yogurt in cups or chocolate-covered bars. It's spelled B-O-K-A-E. Johnston's Fruit Bouquet Yogurt. Look for it in your grocer's freezer.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love.
Thank you, George.
Give your cold. You find that the sooner the better.
The most successful selling cold medicine in the world is a little capsule. It's Contact. It contains no ingredients for aches and fever, no cough medicine. It gives you longer relief per dose than any pill, any liquid. Full-time 24-hour relief of your sneezing, drips, and congestion. Contact. Its tiny-time pills contain ingredients to work up to 12 hours. That's longer relief per dose from those symptoms than any pill, any liquid. So, give your cold a Contact. All day, all night. Full time.
Give your cold to Contact. Give your cold to Contact. Give your cold.
Use only as directed.
6:12 with Neil Diamond. Everything is cherry with him.
Baby loves me, yes, yes she does. Oh, the girl got a sight, yeah. Said she loves me, yes, yes she does. She's gonna show her tonight, yeah. Said she got the way to move me, Jerry. She got the way to move me. She got the way to move me, Jerry, baby. Way to move me. All right. Well, mama, girl, I can't stay long. We got things we gotta catch up on. You know, young boy, what I'm saying. Yeah, stand still while the music is playing. Hey. All right. Ain't got no right, no, you're gone. Ought to be so steady. Won't need bright lights, no, we won't. Gonna make our own lightning. Hey, she got the way to move me, Sarah. She got the way to move me, Sarah, baby. She got the way to move me. She got the way to move me. No, won't your soul gone to us. Yeah, we do whatever we want to. I love the way that you're doing. Tell me, baby, really get me. Hey, she got the way to move me, Jerry. She got the way to move me, Jerry, baby. She got the way to move me. All right. She got the way to move me, Jerry. She got the way to move me. She got the way to
KIIS and Neil Diamond. It's Cherry at 6:15, and it's Tuesday morning, and Linda Ronstadt's going to expose the tracks of her tears for you next. This is Don Elliot, Tuna helper, so to speak.
Your hands will feel the difference. You can really feel the difference with rose milk. It goes in super quick. No slippery, greasy feeling. You can really feel the difference with rose milk skincare cream.
After you use Rose Milk Skincare Cream, your hands will feel like rose petals, as soft as velvet. And you'll never feel like reaching for a towel to wipe away that slippery, greasy feeling hand lotions can leave behind. Rose Milk goes in super quick to deliver the moisturizers your skin needs, but never leaves your hands feeling greasy. That's why with Rose Milk you can really feel the difference. So the next time your lotion leaves you reaching for a towel, reach for Rose Milk instead.
Rose milk skincare cream.
6:10, it's 16 past 6. I admit I asked for it. Tuna helper, somebody called in and said, "You hamburger!"
People say I'm the life of the party 'cause I tell a joke or two. Although I might be laughing loud and hearty, deep inside I'm blue. So take a good look at my face. You know my smile looks out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my feet. Oh, I need you. If you like me, it's just to play with another guy. Looking like I'm having fun. Although it might be easy to substitute because you're the permanent one. So take a good look at my face. You know my time's out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my feet.
KIIS is 619. Good morning to you. It's Don Elliot with the Staple Singers. Coming up, a request for a repeat performance. I think they're going to honor it, too.
Just figure it out. the man there, don't you fear? That's the man there, don't you hear? Do it again, do it again. Like a hammer on the block, the love began to rock. Give the sister love and ride. Feel free and satisfied. I'm not a girl to live, but I feel like a butterfinger. I wanna do it. In the morning, sweet eve in the summertime. In your sweet baby, all laid up next to mine. Sweet love in the midnight, good sleep come morning light. No other light, just getting good, just getting good, just getting good love. Do it again, 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 do it again,
Fanatical about it. That's the staple singers. I want a Butterfinger, I think is the title of that. Is that a dirty snicker? Oh, it's probably a Milky Way. 624 with Don Elliot and King Harvest. Still enough moonlight out, I think you could probably do this.
We get it almost every night. When that moon gets so big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a sight, that's a sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a sight, that's a sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight. Everybody feeling warm and
start my adrenaline, I'd try it. It's 6:26 at KIIS. If they were going to give the world Geritol, I think I'd be the one that would get the spoon. And how's that for a feel for the audience this time of the morning, boy?
And remember, Don Elliot, spelled backwards, is nature's. Good morning. Well, how are you today?
Well, I just described it. Well, I get the other eyelid open and we'll... Classical lack of sleep. It's just,
You said that you felt like I look. I look like Louis Armstrong's voice.
overworked expression, but it's really true. Here, have a look at him, everybody.
Oh, yeah. See? There. Oh, for those of you who don't get the picture too well, it's probably interference from that other station. Okay, there are so many things going on, I can't horse around here. I've got to actually just list all the stories without even telling you about them in detail, or it'll take all morning. First of all, on the national scene, New York police say they don't know how a powerful bomb was set off yesterday in LaGuardia Airport. The bomb left 11 persons dead, about 75 hurt. And police say it packed the punch of 24 sticks of dynamite.
It was more than 3 hours after the explosion at the TWA baggage claim area when police finally went in to remove the bodies they'd found in the wreckage. The bodies were removed in 8 plain pine boxes, put in the back of a city mortuary division van, and driven out. The explosion blew glass from the plate glass windows at the baggage claim area across the driveway. That's more than 75 feet away. Down the side of the terminal, more than 100 feet away, plate glass windows were buckled and broken. Paul Cleveland, ABC News, LaGuardia Airport.
And as you may not have heard if you were out of touch late yesterday, today is the last day that first-class mail can go out for 10 cents an ounce. At 1 minute after midnight tonight, the new postal rates go into effect, 26% higher, a 13-cent first-class stamp for most letters. Yesterday in Los Angeles, Superior Court Judge Mark Brandler ruled that Symbionese Liberation Army member William Harris can serve as his own attorney, but for backup counsel, he's appointing the same man, Deputy Public Defender Ed Rucker, that Harris wanted off his case. Rucker wants off the case, too, so now there's a 2-week stay while they appeal Judge Brandler's ruling. In another matter in court, Inez Garcia, the woman convicted of second-degree murder in the shooting death of a man she claims helped rape her, has been given a conviction reversal. The judge ruled that the original judge in Monterey County erred when he instructed the jury as to what reasonable doubt about Inez Garcia's guilt might mean in terms of their verdict, and therefore the whole thing's thrown out, and I guess they'll have to start over again. That's up to the prosecutors now. Story of another judge, Alfred Gittleson, former Superior Court judge in L.A., who drew national attention when he called for the end to de facto segregation and possible busing in the L.A. school system. Judge Gittleson died at the age of 69 of apparent heart failure. In the medical scene, Brown administration officials are hurriedly advancing a plan to drastically curb medical malpractice rates, but a United Physicians of California spokesperson says the proposal won't stop the doctors' slowdown, and the Hospital Council here in the Southland says because of the holiday season, the full effect of a projected doctor's slowdown in non-emergency medical services probably won't be felt until after January the 5th at any rate, but there's been a lot of emergency planning trying to stop the thing, and doesn't seem to have worked so far. 2 Compton City Council members and a real estate broker were indicted yesterday on a total of 15 federal counts. The charge was extortion in connection with the purchase by the City of Compton Redevelopment Agency of a building for 3 times its assessed value. That building, the old J.C. Penney store, and the people who owned it were allegedly shaken down for $40,000 by the council people in return for their influence. And 2 well-prepared bilingual bandits earlier today robbed Senor Pico's restaurant over in Century City. Got $67,000 in jewelry and $2,000 in cash. I think we have listed all the things that have gone on overnight that you might want to hear about, but I'm not positive, so I'm coming back at 6:55. In the meantime, we're waiting for sports with Bud Perillo. I'm Boyd R. Britton. And there's no sportscaster because he's down the hall waiting for the commercial, and because it's the slow season, there's no commercial.
Play-by-play, into the door with it.
All right, we'll do a commercial for Al. Good morning, everyone. Now time for the sports at 6:31 on KIIS with Bud Perillo. Brought to you by Al Penny's Restaurant at 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City. Good morning.
No slow season. Boyd, we're going down to the Ram practice field tomorrow afternoon to do our reports to see if we can find out how well James Harris is throwing the football and try to get a line on who will start at quarterback for the Rams against the Cowboys on Sunday in the National Football Conference Championship game. Will it be Shaq or the Polish rifle, Ron Jaworski? I guess when we sign off from down there, we'll have to say something like, this is Bud Ferrillo in car 102.7 out. Ram coach Chuck Knox is likely to keep the public and the Cowboys in the dark on who he'll start right up until game time again. Ron Jaworski explains when he found out who would open against the Cardinals.
It was kind of mysterious all week, and in fact, the national anthem was playing, and I didn't know if I was going, or Jim didn't know if he was going, and so just after the national anthem, Coach Knox decided that he was going to give me the shot, and right then and there, the adrenaline started pumping, because, it's something that, being a quarterback, being a professional athlete, that I was probably dreaming about 10 years ago, because everyone dreams, that you're making the big play in the big game, and everyone wants to be a hero and things like that, and I was just, just really proud to be out there playing and being able to lead this team to a win.
Yes, I'm going to have to work on you saying we've got to eliminate that rifle. One thing that we all know is that Al Penny serves good food, and he will continue to serve good food 24 hours a day right up until the new year, and then he's going to make a resolution to serve even better food in 1976. Al Penny's restaurant is at 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City. It's where Culver Boulevard and Washington Boulevard come together and run right into Al Penny's restaurant, but please don't do that with your car. There's plenty of parking available on the streets. You'll just love his food. The portions are the biggest in town. Al's a pretty likable guy sometimes. He can get crotchety too, but most of the time he's really interested in his customers. That's the important thing. He really is. I think that if you would just try Al Penny's, you'd go back again. I know we have, Boyd and I. That's Al Penny's restaurant. It's open 24 hours a day, 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City. A great place to celebrate New Year's Eve. It's open all night.
And while Bud and I are friends, we have not tried it together.
We're going to do that soon.
Yes. I brought some friends over there from Burbank, and now they're saying, when can we go back? Or I
I was talking about it. Hey, what's the idea of that guy bringing in those people from Burbank? It doesn't seem possible, but the official who angered the Minnesota Vikings by not calling offensive pass interference on Drew Pearson for his game-winning catch against Nate Wright is the same one who got Buffalo owner Ralph Wilson fined. Yep, it's headlinesman Jerry Bergman again. If Jerry doesn't watch out, he's liable to become more famous than fifth down Red Fazell. Red was a referee who gave Cornell an extra down against Dartmouth in 1938 that enabled Cornell to score a touchdown, win the game in the national championship, but only for a weekend. After looking at the films, the Cornell official spotted the extra play, forfeited the touchdown, settled for Dartmouth's 3-0 victory on Monday. That's the Ivy League for you. Can you imagine something? I beg your pardon. Can you imagine something like that happening in the National Football League? We'll keep in close touch with the Ram ticket office today to see how they're moving. Less than 15,000 remain of the 91,038 tickets available. It could sell out late today for those who prefer living room football to the stadium. UCLA had a rough time with Santa Clara before winning 52-48 at Poly. USC surprised Hawaii in the Rainbow Classic 68-63. Indiana defeated St. John's 75-69 in the final of the New York Holiday Festival. The Kings lost to Cesar Maniago and the North Stars 2-1 as usual. The Lakers host Seattle tonight. This is Bud Ferrillo in car 102.7 out.
Knock that off. Somebody will sue. Can we let Elliot have his show back? L.A. weather, sunny today. Roger Rubber Duck. Partly cloudy this afternoon, a high of 65. Here in Hollywood now, 47 degrees.
Well, that was tighter than an RTV bus window. 6:36. Thank you, guys. Don Elliot for Charlie Tuna on KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea winds blowing. I still see her dark eyes glowing. He was 21 when I left Galveston. Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea waves crashing while I watch the cannon flashing. Aim my gun and dream of Galveston. I could see her standing the tears she's crying. Before I watch, you'll see birds flying in the sun. At Galveston.
My gun, because it rhymes with Galveston. At 6:38, that's Glenn Campbell in here with Don Elliot. I asked Glenn Campbell once what his pappy did before he died, because he was quite a picker too. And Glenn said, "I was all sitting around a dinner table, and Pappy just grabbed his neck and fell over on his plate and went."
Head shampoo is squeezing so clean and easy, the natural thing to do. I know my hairs would rather have organic lather, so I wash them off with head shampoo. So fine and dandy, it's pH balanced too. So when you're in the store, be sure to ask for more of that healthy, happy head shampoo.
Hey, now Head Orange Shampoo is available at all stores everywhere. You don't like my symbol. It's 6:39 with Jean-Claude Borelli for the Boulanist melody. Have you heard this yet? one. Claude Borley is the artist, and it's the Delanis melody at 6:42 at KIIS. This is Don Elliot. We'll have the traffic conditions for you in just a minute.
The American Freedom Train is racing across our nation, carrying precious cargo. Your America. The most dazzling light and sound displays ever conceived. Over 500 priceless documents and Americana. Yours to see during this once-in-a-lifetime journey. It's an experience you just can't miss. Get on board your American Freedom Train.
Aboard California, the American Freedom Train is now at the L.A. County Fairgrounds. The tickets available at the train. 6:43, taking a look at the traffic. There's a stalled truck in the Azusa off-ramp of the outbound Pomona Freeway now. Also a 60-foot semi overturned at 10th and Gaffney and San Pedro. Wrecking crews are in the area there now. Also some wind warnings along the Golden State Freeway from Templin all the way to the Kern County line. Silver Convention. KIIS raising some cane with your woofers this morning at Silver Convention. Fly, Robin, fly. At 6:47 Tuesday morning already. Don Elliot in for a vacationing Charlie Tuna with L.A. weather. Sunny today, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. It's going to be 65 degrees. Currently, Civic Center has 48. In the Valley, it's up to 45. Orange County, 48. And right now, Here in Hollywood, it's 47. We'd like you to know that Mayor Tom Bradley and the City Council are now inviting volunteers to work in the mayor's office, also in council offices or in the community. You can meet interesting people and do interesting work, too, by calling the City Volunteer Corps. Their number is 485-4437. That's 485-4437. Go ahead. You remember, got to treat her right and left. In stereo on FM and infectious mono AM. Yeah, man. I thought you'd like it. All right. Hey! Oh, you're looking good, baby. I want to tell you a story every man ought to know. If you want a little loving, you gotta start real slow. She's gonna love you tonight now. If you just treat her right now. Oh, squeeze her real gentle. Gotta make her feel good. Tell her that you love her like you know you should. 'Cause if you don't treat her right now, she won't love you tonight. If you practice my method just as hard as you can, you're gonna get a reputation as a love and a man. And you'll be glad every night that you treated her right. And Wild Roy Hiccup, I think, is treat her right. It's Roy Head at 649 at Don Elliot. World-famous Tussie Cosmetics are now on special at Thrifty. You'll find top-quality beauty aids like liquid makeup, cheek gel, nail gloss, lipstick, lip gloss, pressed powder, and cream eyeshadow. Eyeshadow crayons and cheek crayons. Your choice, only 60 cents each. It's a budget-pleasing price on everything you need in the newest glamour shades. That's the Tussie Budget Cosmetic Sale. Each item only 60 cents at your nearby Thrifty Drug and Discount store. Hey, the way most of us eat these days, it's hard to make sure we get enough vitamins and minerals. It's usually a quick bite here or a fast snack there. That's why Squib Theragram M is so important to you. It's your assurance that you'll get high-potency vitamin formula with minerals, the vitamins and minerals you need. Right now is the perfect time, too, to start taking Theragram M, because with each bottle of 100 capsules you buy, you'll get an additional bonus bottle of 30 capsules free. So get Squib Theragram M at your nearby Thrifty Drug and Discount store. Hey, there's never been a better time to shop Thrifty. 651 with the KC and the Sunshine Band.
6:54, and the doctor's slowdown is yet one more day closer, with the worst to be felt after next Monday. The Brown administration is out with a plan to put the state in the business of writing cheap malpractice insurance in return for some favors, like doctors taking less or no money for Medi-Cal patients. That went over like a lead balloon. A news conference this morning in Venice will give the doctor's official response. In fact, some anesthesiologists in San Diego will refuse to treat non-emergency Medi-Cal patients after New Year's unless they get more money from the state. A pair of well-drilled bandits paid a visit to Senor Pico's in Century City during the wee hours, tied up 5 people, got away with $2,000 in cash and $67,000 worth of turquoise jewelry on scene.
This is news from American Contemporary Radio, and I'm Don Gardner. Investigations into the LaGuardia bombing. Details on that story in 60 seconds.
At J.C. Penney, when we have a sale on seats, we have the greatest white sale on earth. The prices are so low, they're out of this world. Because our regular prices are so down to earth in the first place. Every seat in the store is on sale. Take home a twin-size muslin print for $1.97, or a twin-size percale print for $2.83. At J.C. Penney, when we have a white sale, we have the greatest white sale on earth. Kmart is your savings store, where your dollars find you more.
Ever-ready size C and D flashlight batteries are on sale at Kmart for only 44 cents per twin pack this week only. Kmart offers you 2 Ever-ready size C or D batteries, the perfect battery for most toys, at just 44 cents. Look for Ever-ready at over 800 Kmart stores across the United States.
At LaGuardia Airport here in New York this morning, police are sifting through the debris from last night's explosion. They're trying to find bits of the bomb. It's believed to have been placed in a locker at the TWA baggage handling area in the center of the terminal. At least 11 people were killed and 75 injured. All 3 floors of the terminal are damaged, with the heaviest on the ground floor where hundreds of people were coming and going. Police and newsrooms have received a number of calls from various outfits claiming responsibility for the bombing, but none has been proven. Several investigations are underway. New York City police say a bomber usually picks a particular target, but this one was a senseless attack on innocent people. Some reactions from survivors of last night's explosion. Baggage handler Edward Toledo tells ABC News,
I was loading in flight 355 for Chicago. I have my friend here. All of a sudden, I heard this great explosion. And it was like a stones falling on me or something like that, and I was on the floor.
Toledo was among at least 30 people treated at Elmer's General Hospital. Another was TWA stewardess Kathy Lawrence, and she told us,
There was just glass all over the place. People were running around confused and screaming.
Miss Lawrence from St. Louis had just arrived at LaGuardia Airport for a late-night flight to Los Angeles. She's in good condition. It was the worst bombing in New York City since the 1920 explosion on Wall Street that killed 39 and injured 400. All service at LaGuardia has been suspended today. Kennedy and Newark airports will handle all incoming and outgoing New York City flights. It's bound to mean serious delays as both airports will have a 50% increase in their normal flights. If you're going to the post office today, buy some 3-cent stamps to match with those 10 centers you have. Starting at midnight tonight, you'll have to lick 2 stamps to send a first-class letter. The rate starting at midnight is 13 cents for the first ounce and 11 cents for each additional ounce. The post office says letters without the proper postage will be returned. The remains of Richard Welch have been brought back to the U.S. ABC's Barry Dunsmore reports.
The body of Richard Welch was returned here to Washington this morning. Welch, who was the CIA Athens station chief, was assassinated December 23rd by unknown assailants in Athens. His body was returned to Washington aboard an Air Force jet and was accompanied by his son, Marine Lieutenant Patrick Welch. William Colby, head of the CIA, and General Vernon Walters, his deputy, were among the officials at Andrews Air Force Base to meet the plane. An Air Force honor guard carried the flag-draped coffin to a waiting hearse. Mr. Welch will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery on Friday. Barry Dunsmore, ABC News, Washington.
Ewell Gibbons, the writer about natural foods, is dead. Gibbons died suddenly while visiting friends in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. Gibbons began life as a cowboy, but bounced into national prominence when he started writing books about foods you can eat that are found in the woods and fields.
Buell Gibbons with 64. This is ABC Contemporary Radio.
Some scandalous behavior charged against local people in L.A. 2 Compton council members and a realtor were indicted on 15 federal counts, including extortion and perjury. They allegedly got a $40,000 payoff for the city's purchase of the old Compton JCPenney stores at apparently 3 times its value. And 7 attorneys, 2 law office administrators, and a chiropractor have been accused of bilking over $1 million in bogus claims from insurance firms. Former L.A. Judge Alfred Gittleson, whose integration decision 5 years back brought on the age of school busing in L.A., but is still being fought in court with a final decision due, strangely enough, in just a few weeks, died Monday. He was 69. SLA member Bill Harris has been granted the right to be his own lawyer, but will appeal a ruling that he must keep public defender Ed Rucker. Neither Harris nor Rucker wants that. The Harris case, which is also Patty Hearst's case, has been delayed 2 weeks for a decision. In the case of Inez Garcia, which became a feminist cause because she admitted she shot a man who she says helped rape her. We have a high of 65 today. Right now at Civic Center, 48. In the Valley, 45. Orange County, 48. Riverside, San Bernardino, 45. Here in Hollywood, 47 degrees. At 7 o'clock on KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
Phone booth with 703. We're Don Elliot in for Charlie Tuna again. That's the Fifth Dimension up and away towards 10 o'clock this morning. Well, Charlie will be back in a couple of days. My old lady says I've done so much extra fill-in work around here on the radio that I deserve a raise, and I've got to agree. Incidentally, I checked with the boss on it, and he's going to get back to me just as soon as he checks with his old lady.
Heck, I'm big city now. I don't miss that good country taste anymore, because Nuco margarine makes anything you put it on taste country good. It comes in both thick and soft forms. You live in the city, try Nuco.
Nuco puts a smile on your face. Nobody like me like you, but nobody like me like you. Ain't nobody we know.
Nobody everybody Skippy peanut butter. Because Skippy doesn't skimp. Every single peanut in fresh-tasting, easy-spreading Skippy is U.S. grade number 1. And you can't fake number 1. Nobody skips Skippy.
7:04 already, Tuesday morning, and Barry Manilow, with the magic of radio right before your very ears, is going to write a song for you. Watch this.
I've been alive forever, and I wrote the very first song. I put the words and the melody together. I am music, and I write the song. I write the song that makes the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, I write the songs. My home lies deep within you, and I've got my own place in your soul. Now when I look out through your eyes, I'm young again, even though I'm very old. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, I write the songs. Oh, my music makes you dance, and puts your spirit in the dance. And I wrote some rock and roll so you can move. Music fills your heart, well, that's a real fine place to start. So music for you, it's for you, it's for me, it's for
Next door neighbor told me he had a dog cried a lot. It's KIIS from Barry Manilow. I write the songs at 7:08. This is Don Elliot. Barry Manilow, who incidentally plays the piano by ear. That's nothing. My old man fiddles with his whiskers.
Southern California has just got to be one of the great places to live. One reason why is this Saturday and Sunday when Irwindale Raceway presents the nationwide season opener of the drag racing sport, the famed Grand Premiere. All that eastern snow and ice is pushing over 300 of the finest quarter-mile charges to Irwindale. Over 30 funny cars, including world champion Don Perdome, national champion the Blue Max, Jungle Jim Lieberman, Ed McCullough, Mickey Thompson, Paisano Matsubara, Tom McEwen, Ken Vini, Dale Armstrong, the Chicago Patrol, the debut of TV Tommy Ives,
first ever funny car. Well over 30 top fuel dragsters, too, including Canada's Gary Beck and our own James Warren. While Bill Shrewsbury debuts his brand new wheel stander against the dreaded Hemi Underglass from Ohio. All championship categories in 2 furious 200-mile-an-hour days. Qualifying all day Saturday, eliminations begin Sunday at 12 noon. The grand premiere at Irwindale will be the finest drag race this winter. Take the 605 freeway to the 210 and east 1 mile. Tell them, Jungle Jim.
Drag racing is far out.
709 with an island girl and Elton John. Some nice things on islands. Yes, I understand. Not that. And Elton John.
She was a big girl.
Easy, fella.
Funny noises. With an island girl. Oh, I can't wait, Pat. What'd you do with the ship?
713 with Elliot. Look, I can't have a bird like you in here. You'd probably use bad bird language on the air.
I swear, Pat, but you better don't drink or gamble.
Fresh Sunny Valley eggs, Jersey-made brand milk, and other dairy products are always a better buy at Thrifty Mart markets. And Thrifty Mart has better buys on food for your dog. Carnation's Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog are always a good buy at Thrifty Mart. Dogs love Mighty Dog beef because it's pure beef, no byproducts. You'll like the convenient single-serving can. Get Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog at Thrifty Mart markets where you always get better buys. Remember, Mighty Dog is always a good buy at Thrifty Mart.
At JCPenney, when we have a sale on seats, we have the greatest white sale on earth. The prices are so low, they're out of this world. Because our regular prices are so down to earth in the first place. Every seat in the store is on sale. Take home a twin-size muslin print for $1.97, or a twin-size percale print for $2.83. At JCPenney, when we have a white sale, we have the greatest white sale on earth.
Taking a look at L.A. weather, sunny skies turning to partly cloudy skies by this afternoon. High this afternoon is 65 degrees. Currently, Civic Center's up to 48, the Valley 45, Orange County 48, and Riverside it's 42, and here in Hollywood now it's 47 degrees. 7:14, taking a look at traffic now. Southbound Hollywood slows at Belmont. Eastbound Ventura is slowing at the Tampa off-ramp, and again at Reseda. There's a stalled vehicle in the northbound Long Beach Freeway, just south of the Santa Ana Freeway, and a stalled truck now in the Azusa off-ramp to the outbound Pomona Freeway.
No sunshine when she's gone.
Bill Withers.
It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. And I know, yeah, all of this I'm saying alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away.
KIIS and Bill Withers. It's Don Elliot into Charlie Tuna. You mean we've neglected radio's Mr. Answer for the last couple of days? Well, we'll take care of that sometime in the next hour or so. 7:16 this morning, and at the Las Vegas Hilton, they don't do anything. It's just ordinary. For instance, most folks would say 1 for the money, 2 for the show, right? Well, at the Las Vegas Hilton, it's 2 for the money, 2 for the show, because that's the name of their fantastic January package deal. 2 for the money means 2 people can enjoy 4 sun-filled days and 3 fun-filled nights for just $99. While 2 for the show refers to the free dinner show each couple will enjoy as part of that package. And what a dinner show it is, too, starring Bill Cosby and Sha Na Na. 2 for the money, 2 for the show also includes a truly luxurious room, the use of all Las Vegas Hilton facilities, such as their elegant pool, deck, and tennis courts, and all tips and taxes, too, all for just $99. That's $99 per couple, double occupancy. Good only in January and only for Sunday through Wednesday arrivals. Package not available on weekends. Call your Hilton reservation service and ask for 2 for the money, 2 for the show. Then pick up a partner, pack up, and go. 7:17, rhyme intended, is Donnie and Marie Bigo. Tuesday morning, 7:20 with Don Elliot and Donnie and Marie. That's Deep Purple, another one of those secret message records. They're probably really singing about nectar from the Napa Valley, or there's probably a deep meaning about strikes and stuff, too. Taken off the air. Woo! Well, Los Angeles disc jockey does 4 consecutive morning shows, flips out during second one. Drug suspected. Reads weather. LA weather, sunny skies turning to partly cloudy skies by this afternoon. The high will be 65 degrees. At Civic Center, it's 48. In the Valley, it's 45. In Orange County, 48. When's the foam rubber going up on the wall? In Riverside, it's 42. And here in Hollywood, it's 47 degrees now.
What a happy feel. What a happy flavor. Let's take a pack of juicy fruit gum. Let's take a pack from the juicy fruit tree. The flavor's so good, you gotta get some. Just take a pack and you'll see. What a happy feel. What a happy flavor. It'll make you smile. What a happy feel. Take a yellow pack. Brighten up your day. Brighten up your day. You and juicy fruit. Open a pack of juicy fruit gum. You wait and let all the flavor come through. Take a bright yellow pack of juicy fruit gum and let it happen to you. What a happy feeling. What a happy flavor.
7:22 and Zoe Bogies for you in the golden years.
So let me hear you say life taking you nowhere. Look at the sky, life's begun. Nights are warm and the days are young. Last night they loved you, opening doors and pulling some strings. Then walk luck and you looked in time, never looked back, walked all at fine. Gonna drive back down where you once belonged. In the back of a dream car, 20 foot long. Don't cry, my sister, don't break my heart. Doing all right till you kind of get smart. Pick up one day, up one day. I believe, oh Lord, I believe, oh Lord. For the shadow, run for the shadow, run for the shadow, it's glory. There's my baby, love the door. One time, make it don't let me hear you say life is taking you nowhere. So baby, run for the shadow, run for the shadow, run for the shadow, till it's over.
KIIS 725, Don Elliot and David Bowie. Boyd Britton is with us this morning, as usual. We were talking a few days ago about radio replacing or not replacing newspapers. Wouldn't we look funny lining a bird cage?
Can you start a fire with a radio?
But then, give that bird a job.
Why don't you get that bird out of here? After all, it's no longer chic to have a bird for a symbol. Really, this morning over in Burbank, NBC... Would you strangle that little creature? Thank you. This morning over in Burbank, NBC will formally retire the peacock that has been its official TV symbol since color first began. And they'll show off the new logo that artists have cooked up to identify the grand old network. I'm not positive, but I think if you look at the Rose Bowl ads in this week's TV guide, you'll see a little square block N symbol in 2 shades of gray that when crayoned in will look an awful lot like the new NBC symbol. They had to sneak out a few copies in order for their ads to make press deadlines. Some secret, huh? It's no secret that somebody's been recruiting people for Angola. And we had calls after Monday's stories about a Southland recruiter, apparently based down in San Diego, named Dave, who was offering $1,200 a month to go over there and fight on what is hopefully the good side. People were really interested in going. Well, we called Frank Mariano of ABC, who dug up that story, and he says he can't locate Dave anymore, thinks he's run out of money that may have come from the CIA. A former mercenary named Ed Arthur, who lives in Ohio now, says it's actually, despite the response, pretty hard to come up with mercenaries for Angola.
They're having a very difficult time even getting enough money together to send 4 or 5 guys over there, let alone 400 or 500. And it is not coming from the CIA as far as I've been able to find out. Where is it coming from? Private business, from what I can gather.
Oh, not the CIA. Well, which businesses are these?
You have oil, you have diamonds, you have gold in Angola. And if it goes to the communists, as some people are trying to push it into, they'll lose everything.
That was a man named Ed Arthur in Ohio, an alleged CIA or mercenary or something recruiter for Angola. We don't know whether Central Intelligence Agency is really in that or not, but it always seems you'll find them hiding around in the background. It's no hidden secret that doctors are about to take a break. At 11 this morning in Venice, United Physicians will tell us what they think of the new state plan to set up a cut-rate malpractice insurance company in return for volunteer work by the doctors, including taking less money for Medi-Cal. Now, anesthetists in San Diego are already saying that they'll stop doing most Medi-Cal work until they get more money from the states, so the answer may be predictable. There's not a prediction, but a promise. You'd better get that letter in the mail today, because tomorrow those stamps worth 10 cents won't be worth much at all on a first-class letter. An appeals court said yes to the Postal Service rate hike yesterday, mainly because without the extra money, there'd be no payday for the mail people.
The new rates will go into effect at 12:01 a.m. local time on Wednesday, December 31st. And these new temporary rates will include 13 cents for a first-class letter and all the other rates that were scheduled to go into effect on December 28th.
That's Bernie Waswick of the Postal Service in Washington. 3 obituaries this morning in addition to the 11 that resulted from that horrible bombing, apparently a dynamite bomb placed in the TWA Delta terminal at LaGuardia Airport yesterday. LaGuardia is still closed. The plane situation to New York is very confused. But the 3 obits include Ewell Gibbons, the naturalist and cereal salesman, dead at 64. Judge Alfred Gittleson, the former L.A. justice who ordered de facto segregation to end in our city schools. He died Monday on an ocean liner off Panama. And 40-year-old nightclub singer Rue Vaughn, who was a favorite of Las Vegas loungegoers. He succumbed in Valley Hospital in Vegas to internal bleeding. In Compton, they're still talking about the indictment yesterday of 2 of their council members, Messrs. Ham and Woolfolk, on federal extortion charges. The grand jury said those 2 fixed a city real estate deal in return for a $40,000 kickback. Lloyd Pitzer of West L.A. has just sued Playboy magazine for its illustrated history of crime article. Says he was described as a legal advisor to mobsters involved in a pension fraud deal with the Teamsters. He wants $10 million in damages. A Superior Court judge yesterday said SLA member William Harris can serve as his own lawyer, but if he wants backup counsel, he can't have the man he wants. He has to take the man he didn't want, Deputy Public Defender Ed Rucker. Both Harris and Rucker opposed that move. They've got 2 weeks to appeal. And Emily Harris's lawyer, Leonard Weinglass, says there's an important issue here.
We're being curtailed. Patricia Harris does not have to go to a judge and say, Judge, I'd like to do this. Will you give my lawyers the money to do it? That's because she's in a position where she could afford a battery of 5 attorneys. But to have the Harrises in a crippled position really points out the difference in courts in this country between the rich and the poor.
In another celebrated case, Inez Garcia, who was convicted of second-degree murder in the killing of a man she says helped rape her, has had her case remanded back to Monterey Court pending some further action. Her second-degree murder conviction overturned by an appeals court in Sacramento yesterday. I'm Boyd R. Britton. Here's the latest. We'll have Howard Cosell Sports coming up in just a second as soon as we find out where Howard's hiding. On KIIS, it's 7:31 right now. And as long as we're here, and as long as we have to fix things, I want to talk about something else. The president and the press. And do we really make him out to be a klutz? I mean, I'm making myself out to be one this morning. Fair, perhaps, isn't fair, though.
The study finds things have gotten a lot better at the White House since Gerald Ford became president. The report finds the president has restored civility to his relations with reporters, but has not always operated with the openness and candor that he promised. Mr. Ford has held lots of news conferences and given lots of interviews, but the study finds he sometimes has evaded vital questions. And it says some White House and cabinet officials have also refused to provide information that newsmen have requested.
ABC's Vic Ratner reporting on a study by the National Press Club. Now, Howard Cosell.
Hello again, everyone. This is Howard Cosell. Speaking of sports, Maryland upset Florida 13-0 to win the Gator Bowl. That Soviet Army hockey team has done it again. They beat the Pittsburgh Penguins of the National Hockey League last night 7-4 with the same ease and dispatch that they manifested in defeating the New York Rangers earlier. The nation's number one ranked college basketball team, Indiana, had a tough go of it, but defeated St. John's, 11th rated, 76-69 last night to win the Holiday Festival tournament before an all-time record New York crowd for college basketball, better than 19,700 people. Princeton upset Alabama in basketball last night. It was a tough day for the Crimson Tide because 23 of Paul Bear Bryant's football squad prepared for the Penn State game in the Sugar Bowl by missing curfew. No action taken thus far by the great coach. In NBA basketball, the Knicks beat the Bulls by 2. In ABA basketball, Kentucky beat the Nets. In the National Hockey League, Montreal, Toronto, and Minnesota were winners. Milt Schmidt has quit as coach and general manager of the Washington team of the NHL. Milt, of course, one of the great and traditional names in the game of professional hockey. The Football Writers Association has named Woody Hayes the coach of the year in college football. Again, that surprises no one. And the UPI has named Francis Tarkenton, quarterback, Minnesota Vikings, player of the year in the National Football Conference. He might be the player of the decade, so great is that young man, and our heartfelt condolences go out to Sir Francis and his whole family over the death of his dad this past Sunday. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
Now, People's Year-End Double Issue is here with the 25 most intriguing people of the year. From Betty Ford to Dolly Parton, from Woody to Cher, Patty Hearst to Jerry Brown. They're all here in this special double issue of People, the winners and losers of 75, and People to Watch For in 76. Jacqueline, Streisand, Katharine Hepburn, and Audrey too, Doris Day and Rudolph Nureyev, plus a squad of Olympic hopefuls and a line of first ladies in waiting. It's the biggest, most exciting issue of People ever. Pick up a copy today. Martha McClendon of Brentwood, Tennessee, just discovered Trident sugarless bubblegum. And what a surprise.
Darby wanted bubblegum, and this really posed a problem. And purely by accident one day at the grocery store, I saw Trident bubblegum, and I really could have cheered.
No wonder. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
She likes it. And you can blow bubbles with it. I've blown bubbles.
Trident sugarless bubblegum for families who care about their teeth.
Back to the sports scene, the decision of Peter Seitz in the Messersmith and McNally cases has been the subject of frequent commentary by this reporter in recent days, all involving the reserve clause, which I think the general public, based upon what is generally written in the sports pages, believes is necessary for the survival of baseball. And two, the general public has been led to believe that the Supreme Court of the United States has supported the reserve clause. No such thing. I have cited the Flood case and Mr. Justice Blackmun and Mr. Justice Douglas. Well, now Red Smith in the New York Times today, in a brilliant syndicated column, puts written evidence of same into evidence. Howard Cosell reporting.
LA weather coming up after Bud Ferrula does the sports. For KIIS, it's 7:35. Morning, Steamer. We're just not calling the signals right. I think I've fumbled twice now this morning.
Well, the most amusing story, other than what we're doing this morning, is the Rose Bowl story. It has to do with the concern of the UCLA football team that has been working too hard for Thursday's game with Ohio State. The fellows felt there should be more parties, wanted to live in their own apartments and dorms instead of moving into a hotel together prematurely. The players have an executive committee which met with Coach Dick Vermeil about these very important matters, and Vermeil let them know he would continue to coach the team. Let me refresh the Bruins on some past Rose Bowl history. In the 1952 game, Stanford had been lollygagging around Arrowhead and got beat something like 50-7 by Illinois. Dick Highland of the Times blamed it on the malted milks the Stanford team had been gorging themselves with. Then I remember the USC Rose Bowl team of 1948, which celebrated New Year's Eve at a Santa Barbara hotel. They danced the New Year in, wore paper hats, and had a hell of a time. Michigan walloped them 49-0. O.J. Simpson didn't practice for a week, making commercials before the 1969 game. Ran out of gas after an 80-yard touchdown run. Ohio State thumped USC 27-16. So please, Bruins, forget the parties and get your rest. The best Ram player of all time was Deacon Jones. The case is closed. The Secretary of Defense surfaced the other day, and I asked him about this Ram team that will play Dallas for the National Football Conference Championship Sunday at the Coliseum.
Last couple of weeks, the Rams have really come together and played good football. They did what they had to do. They've had a lot of injuries, and they've come through like a true champion.
Honestly, Deke, do you think this could be the year that they make it to the Super Bowl?
I think their chance is just as good as anybody else. They're playing steady football. You know, they're doing the things that they have to do, and I think that they can make it. I really do. You know, this sudden death thing, and that's what the playoffs are, sudden death. You know, just as long as you come to play every week, you got a good chance, and with all the talent the Rams got, I'm sure they ain't going to have no problems at all.
That's from Deacon Jones. The Lakers play Seattle tonight at the Forum. The Bruins beat Purdue at Pauley after squeaking by Santa Clara by 4, 52-48. USC defeated Hawaii in the Rainbow Classic 68-63. The Kings could only get one shot in 38 past Cesar Maniago in Minnesota, where the North Stars won 2-1. A suspect in the whiskey bottle throwing incident in Minnesota. We'll have more on that at 8:30. This is Bud Ferrillo with sports.
Film at 11. What kind of Canadian is Cesar Maniago? Sunshine today, partly cloudy this afternoon. High 65 right now in Hollywood, 47 degrees.
Thanks so much for ringing your drum, too. You guys are going to take it to the game, 7:38. Not Elliot, in for the big fish of KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
No, I would not give false hope on the strange morning day that the mother and child knew was only a moment away. Oh, little darling of mine, I care for the life of me. Remember a Saturday, I know that just gonna work out that way. In the course of a lifetime run, over and over again. No, I would not give you false hope on the strange morning day that the mother child in you is only a moment away. Little darling of mine, I just can't believe it so it seems strange to say I never been laid so low such a mysterious way. In the course of a lifetime run, over and over again. But I would not give you false hope on the strange and awful day when the mother and child in you life is only a moment away. Oh, the mother and child in you life is only a moment away. Oh, the mother and child in you life is only a moment away.
back, Mom. Here, have a cigar. 741, Paul Simon. If you understand that record, you're in worse shape than I'm in. Listen, yesterday we were talking about Eric Carmen and who he sounded like, who he was a cross between. He stands on his own merits, of course, but I've got a segue coming up for you, a couple back-to-back that I think will, to use the vernacular, blow your hat in the creek. Eric Carmen back-to-back with Nilsson coming up shortly. KIIS reminds you that your dial-a-ride takes you where you need to go in comfort and safety. This door-to-door transportation system now serves the people of Northeast L.A. For more info, call 223-2411. Are you all ready for the slopes? Well, are the slopes ready for you? Here are the latest ski reports brought to you by Johnston's Yogurt, the premium quality yogurt.
Some hardpack with icy spots is reported at Bachelor Mountain, Oregon. Depth of snow at Midway is 75 inches. All facilities are operating. In Nevada, Mount Rose has 6 to 24 inches, and fair skiing on hard to soft. Skiing is for intermediate and advanced only. 2 lifts are serving the limited skiable terrain. Most areas in the Sierra of California are rating fair to good. Ski areas are still in limited operation, waiting for more snow. Alpine Meadows is limiting lift ticket sales to $1,800 per day until more snow falls. There's 15 to 24 inches on the covered area. 6 chairs and a Poma are operating. North Star is fair to good on 5 to 11 inches. There are 10 runs open on the upper levels only. Skiing is not recommended for novice skiers. Squaw Valley continues to urge caution due to the bare spots. There's 2 to 4 inches off the 2 bunny platters at the base of the mountain. 3 to 26 inches on the upper elevation slopes. There's novice to advanced skiing up top with 14 double chairs and the cable car and gondola operating. At Heavenly Valley, they have the new portable snowmaking covering the creek area. That's at Midway. Skiing is on the mid to upper California side and upper Nevada. John Hamilton, ABC Sports.
Johnston's Yogurt presents Ski Facts. Did you ever hear the skiing miners of Norway? They were the true missionaries of skiing in America. You mean you can ski in that when gold was discovered in California, many Norwegian miners came to seek their fortune, and they brought their skis with them, boy. Soon, Americans who never had seen a pair of skis, and even the Chinese who worked the gold camps, were careening down Sierra race courses on 12-foot solid oak skis. It speeds up to 80 miles an hour. Side bets spice the competition, with gold mine claims often changing hands at the finish line. Today, there's a different reward at the finish line. It's delicious Johnston's Yogurt. Johnston's takes family pride in the fact that yogurt is their only line, not a sideline. The Johnston family fusses over the cultures and every minute of the processing, too. And they prepare their own fresh fruit every day. When you come off the mountain, or whether you want a light energy snack, you'll find the refreshing goodness of Johnston's Yogurt just right. The ski report's been brought to you by Johnston's Yogurt, the yogurt selected for the training table of the U.S. ski team. That's Johnston's Yogurt. 743, a van has lost a wheel on the southbound San Diego freeway at Western, number 4 lane. Eastbound Ventura slows a little at Reseda. There's a stalled truck in the outbound Pomona freeway, the Azusa off-ramp now. Traffic lights are out at Ball Road at Beach Boulevard in Anaheim. There's a car fire on the inbound Pomona east of the 605. And there's still more. There are boxes in the roadway on the southbound Santa Ana below the Riverside Artesia Junction. Eric Carmen. Coming up, as promised, Harry Nilsson.
When I was young, I never needed anyone. Making love was just for fun. Those days are gone. Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. but I guess that's just the way story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it's true. No, I can't forget tomorrow when I think of all my sorrow. When I had you there, but then I let you go. Now it's only fair I should let you know what you should know. Well, I can't forget to see your face in but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in the eyes your sorrow
Music, boy, with Don Elliot at 7:52. That's Harry Nilsson. Big Hurtin' song. Without You, and before that, All by Myself, it's Eric Carmen.
It's the good time season with family, friends, and lots of good food. Let Albertsons help. Our shelves are stocked with everything you'll need for holiday cooking at the best possible prices.
Janet Lee, 100% Florida frozen orange juice, a 12-ounce can for just 39 cents. Well, coming up next hour, radio's Mr. Answer, and I'll read a staff memo on the air. Now, nobody has ever done that. And return the next day, that is, to tell about theme from SWAT, Rhythm Heritage, music to Pink and KIIS-AM&FM by, no doubt.
It's 7:54, and a pair of early morning bandits paid a visit to Senor Pico and ripped off the fancy Century City restaurant for $2,000 from the till and a turquoise and silver display that's worth $67,000. I'm Boyd R. Britton.
This is news from American Contemporary Radio. I'm Bill Larson. Cautious optimism for the economy. Details on that story in 60 seconds.
It's time for Save-On's 3 great radio bargains. Only now through Wednesday at Save-On drugstores. The big 12-ounce bottle of Mylanta liquid is only $1.29. And Aquanet, the all-weather hairspray in the 13-ounce can, only 59 cents. And Super Lecithin, the natural kelp vinegar and vitamin B6 dietary supplement, 100 capsules, just $2.59. That's half regular price. Great money-saving bargains from your nearby Save-On drugstore. Open until 9:30 tonight. Remember to shop these bargains. 12-ounce Mylanta liquid, only $1.29. Aquanet hairspray, 13-ounce can, only 59 cents. And Super Lecithin dietary supplement, 100 capsules, now only $2.59. That's Save-On. A great place to shop.
Government economists are heaving a small sigh of relief this morning. ABC's David Garcia reports from the Commerce Department.
The index of leading economic indicators increased 0.4% in November. The increase follows 2 months of decline, which had economists worried. I'm told the index, which is a forecast of future trends, indicates the economy has regained what it lost in the 2 previous months. But still, the economic recovery is not surging ahead. Some important indicators were up in November, such as general business and housing, but industrial production dropped off. What it apparently boils down to is that while the economic recovery has leveled off, there are no signs yet of reversal, and the current recovery is about average with other recoveries in the past. David Garcia, ABC News, the Commerce Department.
In Zurich, Switzerland, Finance Minister Musagar of Iran said today that economic recovery around the world by the middle of next year could mean higher oil prices. The search continues at LaGuardia Airport here in New York this morning for clues to whoever left the bomb that went off last night in the TWA baggage handling area. 11 people were killed, about 75 injured. President Ford has ordered a federal investigation. ABC's Joe Vaughn at the scene of the disaster tells about the cleanup.
The bomb-ravished area where the luggage was being picked up last night when the bomb went off is now being cleaned up by work crews who are being very careful not to miss anything that might be there that will provide police with information that they might need in order to find out who planted the bomb.
Correspondent Vaughn says at this point police say they don't have enough information to know exactly what happened. Police are discounting various claims of responsibility for last night's bombing. LaGuardia is closed until late tonight, and its flights have been transferred to Kennedy Airport here in New York and to Newark in New Jersey. The body of Richard Welch arrived in Washington this morning. He was the CIA chief in Greece, assassinated in Athens a week ago. The plane carrying Welch's body arrived at Andrews Air Force Base, accompanied by his son, Marine Lieutenant Patrick Welch. Other family members were at the airbase to meet the plane, as were CIA Chief William Colby and Presidential Counsel Patrick Buchan. President Ford waived certain restrictions so Welch can be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Ewell Gibbons died yesterday in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, from an apparent heart attack. Gibbons was the naturalist and author who wrote such books as Stalking the Wild Asparagus. Ewell Gibbons was 64. The citizens of Strongsville, Ohio are getting their trash picked up and their snow plowed despite a strike by city service workers. It's being done by Mayor John Pierce, who tells ABC News.
I think that all too often when a man takes a position or a woman takes a position as the chief administrator of a municipality or any form of government, they kind of insulate themselves from what really goes on. And I don't think that's right. Consequently, it's no big chore for me to jump in a truck and get the job done. So I think the people are reacting very positively toward it.
Mayor Pierce is getting help from his wife, who says it's a lot of fun picking up trash and plowing the streets with her husband in Strongsville, Ohio. This is ABC Contemporary Radio.
Here in the Southland, doctors will tell us at 11 a.m. just what they think of the new state malpractice insurance plan that would have them working for less Medi-Cal money in return for guaranteed low premiums. United Physicians has already said its strike slowdown plans won't be affected by the new offer from Sacramento. An appeals court has overturned the conviction of Inez Garcia, who admitted she shot a man who helped another man rape her up in Salinas. 2 Compton City Council members have been indicted in connection with a $40,000 Compton real estate kickback scheme. The federal charges include perjury and extortion. Congressperson Alfonso Bell says the man he's running against, John Tunney, sent out a blatant campaign pitch paid for with free federal franking. The suit says the senator should pay back $130,000 in tax-paid postage. The plan to train National Guard troops as emergency police in California has been labeled a plot by the head of the state group called Peace Officers Research Association. Joe Acito says the governor is trying to set up a police strike-breaking force. If you fly in and out of small rural airports, listen to this. The Auditor General's office in Sacramento says the state aeronautics people are letting private field operators get away with such violations as no license and no fences to keep cattle and, in the Carmel Valley, school children from crossing the runways. A fire in Culver City at the Culver City Studios overnight wiped out an old Western movie set. Nobody hurt, and they were going to tear it down anyway. Stocks opened lower this morning. USC and UCLA won in basketball action. In the NHL, the Kings were losers to Minnesota. I'm Boyd R. Britton. LA weather. Sunny today, partly cloudy this afternoon. A high of 65 today. Right now at Civic Center, 49. In the Valley, 46. Orange County, 48. Riverside, San Bernardino, 45. And here in Hollywood, 48 degrees at 8 o'clock on KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
KIIS and Gas Man. Carol King, it's 8:04. It's Don Elliot in for Charlie Tuna, and Charlie, your listeners are crazier than both of us put together. There's a fellow on the line right now that has been waiting through the newscast to talk to me about something.
Hey, Elliot, when are you going to play the next song?
Just a couple of minutes.
Can't you play before then, man?
No, you see, there can never be one before the next one.
There's a feeling around, it's America's sound, letting people feeling free. Free to choose any way, free to stand up and say, be you and I'll be me. When you pack that food for living, then you need what comes in here. I'm happy to live, for you. Join the birthday,
It's 8:06, taking another look here at a sig alert on Soto Street between 6th and Washington, where there's been an incident involving a set of doubles. That's right. Also slowing south on Soto Street. Avoid that area. They're slowing on the 9th Street on-ramp to the southbound Harbor Freeway in a stalled car in the southbound 605 to the southbound Santa Ana Freeway. Incidentally, this is the next record. If you laugh, you're the sick one, will you? time you don't mind it being out of proportion with the rest of us. 809 at KIIS, that's the Wing and a Prayer Fife and Drum Corps. And Babyface with Don Elliot in for Charlie Tuna. Les, the feature of the usually between, when is it usually, 8 and 9 o'clock, Mr. Answer, or is it between 7 and 8? Lest that die, we'll give it to you now. Presenting radio's Mr. Answer. The answer is Echo. The question? I don't know how he gets these things open with it. The question is, what's the only thing that can cheat a lady out of the last word?
The summer of 75. What a terrific time it's been. Good times, good eating, and good snacking on lots of crunchy, delicious Planters peanuts. Everybody loves Planters, and now's the time to stock up for the big Labor Day weekend. What with the kids snacking on them and Dad taking them fishing and friends munching away, you can always do with an extra can or jar of Planters peanuts around. Look, you don't need a party for the fun to begin. Wherever you're going, wherever you've been. See, Planters are more than fun food. They're real food, full of protein goodness. And ounce for ounce, they're a better buy than many other snacks. So why not fill up a bowl and keep it around for everyone? Here comes the Labor Day weekend, so let there be plenty of Planters peanuts. At home, at the beach, when you're out, or you're in.
Ten with McCartney and Wing. Still coming up this hour. I'll be reading that staff memo on the air, the subject of which is something about no one else doing Mr. Answer besides Tuna. Seriously, no one has ever read a staff memo on the air around here, as I pointed out, and lived to the next day to tell about it.
Sitting in the sand at the sports arena, waiting for the show to begin. Red, white, green, like strawberry wine. A good friend of mine, now is a side. Venus and Mars are all right tonight.
KIIS McCartney and Wings at 8:14. This is Don Elliot in for Tuna. L.A. weather, sunny skies, partly cloudy by this afternoon. It's going to be 65 this afternoon, incidentally. Currently at Civic Center, it's 50. In the Valley, they're up to 46. Orange County has 50, and here in Hollywood, it's 49 degrees. And it's a beautiful day here as we look north from the 18th floor of the UCB building here. The workmen are at it this morning already, putting finishing touches on the upper 20 floors. You may hear them pounding away up there. They've gone down to the 40th floor for coffee while the tenants on the first 10 floors are moving out because the electrical wiring is worn out. It's a little old-fashioned.
Ever-ready size C and D flashlight batteries are on sale at Kmart for only 44 cents per twin packs this week only. Kmart offers you 2 Ever-ready size C or D batteries, the perfect battery for most toys, at just 44 cents. Look for Ever-ready at over 800 Kmart stores across the United States.
Now, People's year-end double issue is here with the 25 most intriguing people of the year. From Betty Ford to Dolly Parton, from Woody to Cher, Patty Hearst to Jerry Brown. They're all here in this special double issue of People, the winners and losers of 75, and people to watch for in 76. Jacqueline, Streisand, Katharine Hepburn, and Audrey II, Doris Day and Rudolph Nureyev, plus a squad of Olympic hopefuls and a line of first ladies in waiting. It's the biggest, most exciting issue of People ever. Pick up a copy today.
8:16 on Tuesday morning. Take another look at traffic here in the morning. Ventura and Golden State Freeway Junction is slow. There's an accident on the southbound 605 to the southbound Santa Ana. The inbound San Bernardino Freeway slows at the Long Beach interchange. And hey, Don, there's some girl who says she's lonely on the phone. And never mind. I read them like I get them. What line is she on?
And singing and bringing time and music each night of the storm that won't get you into his arms. So if you all you gotta do is hold him and kiss him and love him and show him that you care.
Dusty Springfield wishing and hoping away at 8:19. I'll be reading that staff memo in just a couple of minutes from right now.
Your hands will feel the difference. You can really feel the difference with rose milk. Bingo, super quick, no slippery, greasy feeling. You can really feel the difference with rose milk.
skins can feel like rose petals, as soft as velvet. All you need is a little rose milk skincare cream. You see, rose milk is a rich, thick cream specially formulated to give your skin the emollients and moisturizers it needs to be soft and smooth. Yet rose milk goes in super quick and never leaves your skin feeling greasy. For skin as soft and smooth as rose petals, buy Rose Milk Skincare Cream. With Rose Milk, you can really feel the difference.
Rose Milk Skincare Cream.
We're locking you out of this morning. 520-5535 is my request line number. I wanted to hear the George Baker selection. And Don Elliot with the George Baker selection. Floundering disc jockeys in the, they don't call the suburbs out here, but you might want to gather around, see how it's done in the big time here. One of the staff memos, which, if this doesn't make it my last day on the air here, I don't know what will. Here's the memo pinned to the bulletin board up here that's been here for several days now to all jocks and other employees. The management of this organization, y'all want to gather around in here and pick up on this because it is important. The management of this organization, after due and careful consideration of certain regrettable practices which have recently been brought to its attention, is desirous of again reminding you of the fact, which has, of course, been pointed out on several previous occasions, but which nevertheless has apparently been overlooked or ignored by an all too preponderant proportion of our present personnel, that all members of this organization should make an earnest, sincere, continuous, and persistent effort to avoid all excessive wordiness, repetitive phraseology, unnecessary complicated sentence structure, lengthy, involved, or obscure paragraphs, and other grammatical errors, to transcribe an internal communication of any nature whatsoever to one or more fellow employees or any of the other judges. Yeah, all right.
magazine, sir?
Yes. Time magazine, please, Stewart.
Oh, golly, that mean across the aisle. I just took the last copy of Time, will you? Sorry. Magazine?
Pardon me? Yes. I noticed you haven't started reading your Time magazine. No, you couldn't. But you haven't. I'm writing a letter to my mother, and when I'm finished, I'm going to enjoy Time. Don't try to peek inside of it, sir. Stewardess.
Yes, sir.
This man isn't reading the Time magazine. I'm writing a letter first. To his mommy. Don't be nasty. All I want.
Sir, couldn't this gentleman here...
Let me glance at the theater. No. Modern Living? No. One little book read.
Look, I know how enjoyable Time magazine is to read. We'll start reading one article and another, and by the time he's finished, we'll be in Budapest.
I have a speed reading diploma.
Problem here, Stewardess.
Not really, Captain. This man here has the last copy of Time magazine, but he's writing a letter to his mommy.
Sir, you'll have to give up one or the other.
Yes. All right. Here.
Dear Mommy, I'm up in a big airplane.
Time makes everything more interesting, including you.
Thought he was going to read another memo for a minute. You know Charlie Tuna didn't write that memo. Who is the culprit?
Don Elliot.
$8.25 and the OJs. For the OJs, and I love music. Age 29. It's Don Elliot. A couple of quick accident reports here just before Boyd. There's an accident on the southbound San Diego Freeway north of Palos Verdes. Another accident on the inbound Santa Ana near the 605 number 1 lane, and people are walking on the inbound Santa Ana near Indiana. We have a radio with him, or maybe I drove him out of the cars this morning. Good morning, Boyd. How are you?
Good morning. No accidents in this place, not this hour. Last hour, we followed up on some Monday news about recruiting mercenaries for Angola. Seems like there wasn't that much CIA money involved as there was private U.S. corporation funding. And also the Southland recruiting setup run by the mysterious San Diego Dave has closed up shop. I also did a long report yesterday about something that fascinated me. The 33 Vietnamese students down in Oceanside who got 90s on their skill tests while their U.S. counterparts averaged 30s. This is a test by Oceanside schoolteacher Paul Adkins, who gave us his reaction, which was much like mine.
I think I was surprised because initially I thought perhaps I had been given a gifted child that was just so brilliant that he would do well anywhere. But then when I found out that these kids, many of them, were just average students in their own homeland. And, of course, this really shocked me.
So, are California kids dumb, or are California schools missing the boat?
I think that the Vietnamese system obviously is superior, but the Vietnamese system, on the other hand, is very much like the system that we had apparently prior to World War II, back around that area, where when people went to school, they went there to learn, not to be entertained.
Say Paul Adkins, a teacher from Oceanside who just learned something. If you have to fly to New York today, you will land at either Newark or Kennedy, regardless of what connection you thought you had to make. LaGuardia is closed after that horrible bombing. 11 known dead, 75 hurt. Reporter Paul Cleveland surveyed the damage at LaGuardia.
Standing immediately outside the TWA baggage claim area here at New York's LaGuardia Airport, you can look right through what was once the back wall. It was against that wall that there was a group of about 12 lockers. In one of those lockers, a bomb, high explosives. The commander of the New York City bomb squad told me the bomb was the equivalent of about 15 sticks of dynamite.
Dr. John Roberts of United Physicians of California says their strike plans are unchanged. They'll still stop non-emergency work at midnight New Year's Eve. The new plan by the Brown people to set up a state insurance company for malpractice coverage will get a more formal response today at 11 in Venice, but apparently the provision requiring doctors to serve time in rural areas and take less money or no money for welfare patients in return for cheap insurance isn't popular with anybody but perhaps the general public. We have few choices outside of not getting sick or injured after New Year's. One of the other things to note this morning, in fact, a group of other things, a $69,000 cash and carry job at the Senor Pico restaurant in Century City. The main part of the loot for two gunmen was a silver and turquoise jewelry display. A $40,000 kickback extortion scheme in Compton. It's alleged two city council people there were involved. $1 million health insurance ripoff here in L.A. 9 people from law firms and a chiropractor have been indicted. A $10 million libel suit against Playboy by West L.A. lawyer Lloyd Pitzer, who says he was named in a crime report on Teamsters and the mob and should not have been. And a 3-penny rise in postal rates. The 13-cent first-class stamp had better be on any letter mailed after midnight. And as long as we're talking dollars and cents, let's talk about oil prices. Regardless of the Israeli issue, which of course is a tough nut to handle for a lot of people, we do have friends in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia plans to continue holding the line against high oil price increases in OPEC, the Organization of Oil Exporting Countries, as long as it can. Abdul Hadi Taher, the chairman of Saudi Arabia's State Oil and Mining Company, told me we Saudis feel that price increases should be kept to a reasonable level and that prices should be kept separate from politics. It's getting harder to keep prices down in OPEC, he said, because of mounting inflationary pressures imported from abroad. By that, he meant prices of goods like steel, food, and automobiles Saudi Arabia buys from the United States and other Western countries. John Cooley, ABC News, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones off 1/3 of a point at 8 a.m. our time. It's 8:33 now at KIIS, and time for sports with the steamer Bud Perillo. Brought to you by Al Penny's Restaurant at 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City. Good morning, Bud.
Good morning, Boyd. A U.S. District Court judge in Minneapolis, Earl Larson, has just decided the so-called Rozelle rule in the National Football League violates federal antitrust laws. Judge Larson's ruling comes down 5 months after a 55-day trial in which NFL players tested the rule and won. Named for Commissioner Pete Rozelle, the rule calls for the NFL czar to determine compensation for a team which loses a player to another team after complying with the option year on his contract. Reason for the rule was to try and maintain competitive balance in the league. protect the owners from themselves. Without it, many NFL owners feel that freedom of movement will result in the rich getting richer, and nobody will want to play for teams in undesirable cities. But I believe the players will now sit down with the owners and work out a plan for compensation which takes dictatorial power out of the hands of the commissioner. And when you go to Al Penny's restaurant, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Al Penny is not a dictator. Every waitress, every bartender, every waiter who works for Al has an equal say in everything that goes on in that magnificent restaurant that's open 24 hours a day at 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City, where Culver Boulevard and Washington Boulevard come together right into Al's front door. The food, the biggest portions in town. What does he have planned for New Year's? Nothing special. The same great food. Come on in New Year's Eve. You can stay all night if you want because, as we said, Al Penny is open 24 hours a day. He never closes. I sometimes wonder if he ever goes to sleep. But it's a great restaurant. I recommend it highly. Police in Bloomington, Minnesota believe they are hot on the trail of the man with the bourbon bottle arm who beaned field judge Armin Terzian in Sunday's game between the Vikings and the Cowboys. Police say they have the name of a suspect given them by several fans seeking justice and a $5,000 reward offered by Minnesota owner Max Winter. The suspect is from the Minneapolis area, but apparently doesn't have a permanent address. A bar-to-bar search is underway. The Vikings lost the game 17-14 and haven't gotten over it yet, claiming offensive interference on the part of Dallas receiver Drew Pearson against Minnesota's Nate Wright. Even Pearson is admitting there might have been interference and said he expected a flag. Pearson said he saw something fly through the air, thought it was a flag, but it turned out to be an orange flung by a fan apparently sitting in the fruit stand at the other end of the field. Dallas owner Clint Murchison is willing to listen to the Vikings sobbing. Murchison told the Vikings to study the films and give him a call. Murchison said, "I'll be at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel in Los Angeles." Now, that's really rubbing it in because the Cowboys will be here to play the Rams, of course, for the National Football Conference Championship on Sunday. I remain convinced that Sunday's game will be on local television. There are less than 15,000 seats left to be sold by 1 o'clock New Year's Day. This is Bud Ferrillo for Al Penny's Restaurant at 9523 Culver Boulevard in Culver City.
And you got to think about that for a minute. If the guy threw the orange from the other end of the field, maybe they should sign him with an arm like that. L.A. weather, sunshine today, partly cloudy by this afternoon. High 65 right now in Hollywood, 50 degrees.
8:37, Don Elliot back to the boogie for Charlie Tuna on KIIS, AM&FM, Los Angeles. KIIS with Don Elliot. My boogie is down with Eddie Kendricks. It's 8:41. As we remind you that you can help the hungry to help themselves. Meals for Millions will tell you how. You write to them. Meals for Millions, Santa Monica, California. The zip code is 90406. My kids have been on the phone with me all morning. See if they're still on here now. Hello, Jill. My 4-year-old heard the news story about the testing in San Diego with the kids and wants to prove to you that, American kids are all right, too. A scientific question now, Jill. Is this phone working all right? Look, I take it you're there. When the teapot boils, why does the steam come out? Can you tell us that?
So Bob could open your milk before you get it.
Well, they want you to come on out to Knott's Berry Farm and catch Pat Boone and family performing nightly at the Knott's Good Time Theater. Showtimes at nightly from December 26th through the 30th. That's going on right now. In addition, Sherry Lewis and her famous puppets featuring Lamb Chop appearing daily now through January 4th, all except for New Year's Day. Remember now, that's Pat Boone and family nightly and Sherry Lewis daily. Don't miss the holiday fun this season. Going on right now at Knott's Berry Farm. In Buena Park. You and you. I said you. You, my friends, are in for the time of your lives, because Knott's Berry Farm's old-time adventures are waiting for you. I say there's a whole new park going on. There's a whole new park going on. I'll speak frankly, my friends, it's not brand new. There's lots to do. There's a whole new park going on. There's a whole new park going on. There's new thrills and rides and thrills waiting for you at Knott's Berry Farm. There's a whole new park going on. The fun this holiday season going on at Knott's. 8:43 and Leon Russell. We're back to the island after his bird. Peaceful here on the island, except for an occasional 846 at KIIS with Leon Russell and Don Elliot with the weather in my talon Sunny skies, partly cloudy by this afternoon. It'll be 65 degrees. At the Civic Center right now, we're up to 50. In the Valley, 46. Orange County has 50. Currently here in Hollywood, it's 49 degrees.
Hey, this is Wolfman Jack. And by now, you know there's a big difference between cleansers and Clearasil. Of course, Clearasil not only dries up and helps heal acne pimples, it keeps working up to 6 hours, sopping up that excess skin oil. So don't be stingy with the Clearasil. When you lay it on your pimples, spread it around, rub it in. Anywhere you got that oil you sometimes get with pimples, like on your forehead or around your schnoz. So don't forget, when you sock it to the pimples, sop it to that oil.
Hey, the way most of us eat these days, it's hard to make sure we get enough vitamins and minerals. It's usually a quick bite here or a fast snack there, you know. That's why Squib Theragram M is so important. It's your assurance that you'll get high-potency vitamin formula with minerals, the vitamins and minerals you need. And right now is the perfect time to start taking Theragram M, because with each bottle of 100 capsules you buy, you'll get an additional bonus bottle of 30 capsules free. So get Squib Theragram M at your nearby thrifty drug and discount store. And everything you need to frost and tip your hair comes in a compact kit. Did you know that? It's Clairol's Frost and Tip. With Frost and Tip, you don't change your whole hair color. You just add a little interest. And it's easy because you've got everything you need. Even a special cap that makes you an expert from the very first time you use Frost and Tip. Do a little or a lot, but do it today with Clairol's Frost and Tip Kit. Only $4.99. It's nearby thrifty drug and discount store. And there's never been a better time to shop thrifty. It's 8:48. More traffic. Southbound Soto Street slows nearing Washington Boulevard due to a large rig there, a set of doubles. Problem there. There's debris in the northbound 605 below South Street, and there's a gas tank on the southbound San Diego below the Ortega Highway.
Tell me that you're leaving. I can't believe it's true. Girl, there's just no living without you. Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. 'Cause if you don't, then I'll be blue.
That's with Sedaka and Don Elliot at 8:51. LAPD now says the traffic on the southbound lanes of Soto Street between 8th Street and Olympic are now moving in a normal manner. My kids are still on the darn telephone. Listen, what is it now, Jill?
Dad, can you just still do tricks?
Can I still do tricks? What do you mean do tricks?
When Mom says you were younger, you used to drink like a fish.
Bus stop where they do their acting, please get my umbrella. Bus stop, but those two things look close under my umbrella. All that summer we enjoyed it, wind and rain and shine. That umbrella we employed by August he was mine. Every morning I would see her waiting at the stop. Sometimes she stopped and she would show me what she bought. All the people said we were all quiet, say someday my name and hers are going to be the same. That's the way the whole thing started, silly but it's true. Thinking of a sweet romance beginning in the queue. In the sun, the ice was melting, no more sheltering now. Nice to think that umbrella led me to a vow.
8:54, and there'll be another Inez Garcia trial, and no doubt another campaign from feminists who say she shouldn't be sent to prison for killing a man who helped rape her. Her conviction was thrown out Monday by a Sacramento appeals court.
This is news from American Contemporary Radio, and I'm Don Gardner. A reward on the bombers. Details on that story in 60 seconds.
You and me, baby, you and me, arm in arm, living free, baby. You and me, baby, you and me, arm in arm, naturally, baby.
When you're really close to someone, the last thing you want to worry about is underarm odor. Now there's a more natural way to stay fresh when you're close. It's a new deodorant called Arm in Arm by Helene Curtis. Arm in Arm is really different because it's made with baking soda, that pure earth substance that keeps things fresh and odor-free naturally. Arm in Arm with baking soda really works, and it works without harsh chemicals, so it can't sting, stain clothes, or clog pores. For men and women, Arm in Arm is a natural solution to a natural problem.
You and me, baby, you and me, arm in arm, naturally, baby.
New Arm in Arm, the first spray deodorant with baking soda.
The nation's airlines are offering $50,000 for information leading to the conviction of those responsible for last night's deadly bombing at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Police are looking for clues as to who may have put the bomb in the locker at the TWA baggage area. And police now think that the bomb may have had a lot more than 25 sticks of dynamite in it. So far, only 5 of the 11 dead have been identified. Some 75 were injured. The airport's like a ghost town this morning. ABC's Joe Vaughn is there and tells us...
There have been some airplanes that have flown out of LaGuardia this morning. Of course, they were carrying no passengers. They were simply ferry flights, as they call them, moving the airplanes to other airports in the area, both Newark and Kennedy. Those airports providing facilities to take up the slack because the airlines cannot fly in or out of this airport, at least not until late tonight.
Correspondent Vaughn says crews are working to clean up the devastation and get the airport back into operation. The Commerce Department says today its index of leading economic indicators showed a slight improvement last month. The rise was 0.4%, wiping out a similar decline in October. The Commerce Department says the increase in the economic indicators shows the economy will continue to improve gradually in the next few months. The Algerian ambassador to West Germany today denies that those pro-Palestinian terrorists have been granted political asylum in Algeria. The ambassador says the terrorists who took hostages from the OPEC headquarters in Vienna 9 days ago are still under control of Algerian authorities. The body of CIA agent Richard Welch arrived at Andrews Air Force Base outside of Washington this morning. ABC's Barry Dunsmore was there.
An honor guard of 8 airmen are now carrying the casket covered with the United States flag of Mr. Richard Welch, 46, former CIA station chief in Athens, assassinated by unknown assailants on the 23rd of December. And the casket, accompanied by Mr. Welch's son, Lieutenant Patrick Welch of the U.S. Marine Corps, has been brought back to Washington for burial at Arlington National Cemetery.
Correspondent Dunsmore says the burial will be on Friday. The editor of the New England Journal of Medicine, Dr. F.J. Inglefinger, says too many people have an unfounded fear of cancer. Dr. Inglefinger says he agrees with the Food and Drug Administration in refusing to act on some things which cause cancer in laboratory animals, but which have not been proven to cause cancer in humans. ABC News asked Dr. Inglefinger what can be done about what he calls cancer phobia.
I think it would have to be a general recognition by the public and the media and the politicians that just because somebody says a certain agent may cause cancer doesn't mean that that agent does cause cancer.
Dr. Inglefinger says cancer is a serious disease, but there's too much emphasis put on it when there are many other fatal illnesses. This is ABC Contemporary Radio.
Using sleds to get through the Rocky Mountain snow and digging through an avalanche caused by the crash of a light plane, rescuers have recovered the bodies of a pilot and 8 Southland skiers who died last weekend in the wilderness near Central City, Colorado. The names released include Bob and Richie Peterson, the sons of L.A. publisher Robert Peterson, and an entire Beverly Hills family, Stuart Nelson, his wife Myrna, 2 daughters, and Mrs. Nelson's mother. Republican Representative Alfonso Bell is not only running against John Tunney, he's suing the senator for mailing out the Tunney letter, paid for by his campaign in envelopes with postage paid for by the U.S. taxpayer. Bell from West L.A. says the amount misused was $130,000, and that Tunney's not the only person in Washington who takes liberties with the franking privilege. Meanwhile, Bob Kolos, the former Tom Bradley press aide who's running as a Democrat for Bell's seat in the House, is going to file suit today against the whole state election code, which he says gives the incumbent, the guy in office, an unfair advantage in getting lists of registered voters for less money and at any time he likes, while the candidate who isn't in office and doesn't ask at the right time has to pay 5 times as much for those mailing lists. In sports, the Rozelle rule is ruled out by a Minneapolis judge who found in favor of the NFL players, and they're suit to be free of total control by team owners. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow Jones average fell 0.39 in the first hour of trading. I'm Boyd R. Britton. L.A. weather, sunshine, partly cloudy later. High today, just 65 at Civic Center. Currently, it's 50 in the Valley, 46, Orange County, 50, Riverside, San Bernardino, 51, and here in Hollywood, it's 50 degrees at 9 o'clock on KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
Come on.
trouble. 9:03 at KIIS with the Staples. Don Elliot in for Hunk Tuna until 10. Jay Stevens at 10 o'clock today. You have to listen very carefully to Jay. He's a wise man who's learned from experience. Years ago, he got his fingers burned on Wall Street, though. What'd you do, Jay? Pick up a lighted cigar?
At JCPenney, when we have a sale on seats, we have the greatest white sale on earth. The prices are so low, they're out of this world. Because our regular prices are so down to earth in the first place. Every seat in the store is on sale. Take home a twin-size muslin print for $1.97, or a twin-size percale print for $2.83. At JCPenney, when we have a white sale, we have the greatest white sale on earth.
Fresh Sunny Valley eggs, Jersey-made brand milk, and other dairy products are always a better buy at Thrifty Mart markets. And Thrifty Mart has better buys on food for your dog. Carnation's Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog are always a good buy at Thrifty Mart. Dogs love Mighty Dog beef because it's pure beef, no byproducts. You'll like the convenient single-serving can. Get Mighty Dog beef and other varieties of Mighty Dog at Thrifty Mart markets, where you always get better buys. Remember, Mighty Dog is always a good buy at Thrifty Mart.
9:05, checking some more morning traffic. There's an injury accident at the southbound Orange Freeway at Lambert. There's slowing in the southbound Hollywood Freeway at Highland, and the inbound Santa Ana slows at the East Los Angeles interchange, number 3 lane. I'd like you to meet my necessary evil woman. Electric Light Orchestra. But not evil. That's Evil Woman. Electric Light Orchestra. It's 9:08 with Don Elliot for Tuna this morning. L.A. weather, sunny skies, partly cloudy by this afternoon. High today of 65 degrees. Could you say that it'd be safe to say it's going to be a nice day?
How safe would it be, Don?
I'd say it's going to be about as safe as a quart of grape juice in a boss's refrigerator. Detroit Lake Civic Center has 50, and the Valley is 46. Orange County has 50. San Bernardino has 52. Riverside 51 degrees, and currently here in Hollywood, it's 50 degrees.
Look, I'm big city now. I don't miss that good country taste anymore, because Nuco margarine makes anything you put it on taste country good. It comes in both thick and soft forms. You live in the city, try Nuco.
Nuco puts a smile on your face.
What's your favorite salad dressing? French? Russian? Well, they're all good. But to make them even better, start fresh with the best mayonnaise you can buy. Best Foods Real Mayonnaise. Best Foods is always fresh, creamy, and smooth. You can depend on it.
909. It's John Denver. Grabs Olivia and flies away with her.
All of the days are gone soft and cloudy. All of the dreams are gone dry. All of the nights are gone sad and shady. He's getting ready to fly. Fly away. Fly
KIIS winging their way. That's John Denver and Olivia Newton. John's 9:13 with Don Elliot. What you know, I just did the weather, and I've got some new temperatures in now at Civic Center. It's up to 55. Currently here in Hollywood, we have 54 degrees. Hey, it's the 30th already, December the 30th, whether you're aware or not. Here's a great way to start the new year.
Say, here's a great way to start the new year.
I said that. Think of your own line.
Let Technicolor develop all your holiday snapshots.
You mean the Technicolor?
That's right. Now,
You mean
you can...
Technicolor of Hollywood? You mean they're going to develop my snapshots?
Yes, in their own local photo finishing laboratory.
Oh, you know, I see Color by Technicolor on movie screens all the time.
Well, that's right. Color by Technicolor's been famous in Hollywood for generations. And now you can have Color by Technicolor for your own pictures and slides and home movies.
I didn't know that.
And there are hundreds of conveniently located Technicolor retailers ready to demonstrate why Color by Technicolor means quality in pictures at a reasonable price, no matter what brand of film you use.
Imagine my pictures in Color by Technicolor.
Remember, all photo finishing is not Technicolor photo finishing. Discover for yourself what Hollywood has known for years. Any picture worth taking deserves Color by Technicolor. Be sure to ask your favorite retailer for Technicolor photo finishing today. Technicolor, Hollywood's most famous name in color.
9:15 on the gladdest night. And the B6, what's that? The best thing that ever happened to me. Skip. Gladdest night. 9:18, Don Elliot for Charlie Tuna. Oh, yeah. We got the best of both worlds around here, too, at AM 1150. Stereo FM 102.7. Both sides now. It's 9:18. Did I tell you that? A little radio education class going on here. If you... I can tell you anything you want to know about radio. And I'm not even Mr. Answer. I don't have a big head either. Here's a simple way to understand radio for those of you that might be studying it or that just don't have time for the long course, okay? Now, if you had a dachshund that reached from New York to Los Angeles, say, okay, and you stepped on his tail in New York, he'd bark in Los Angeles, okay? That's telegraphy. That's telegraphy. Now, radio is the same thing without the dog.
There's just always something special about a premiere. Special hardly describes the 5th Annual Grand Premiere Drag Races this Saturday and Sunday at Irwindale Raceway. The Grand Premiere is the official debut of any straight championship drag racing in this country. Over 300 stars from all parts of the continent. Everything that's new and exciting for 76. Funny cars, over 30 of them. Don Perdone, the Blue Max, Jungle Jim, Ken Beanie, the Chicago Patrol, Ed McCullough, Dale Armstrong, Paisano Matsubara, Tom McEwen. The debut of TV Tommy Iva's first ever funny car. Gary Beck of Canada has over 30 top fuel dragsters. Our own James Warren will be there too. Don't miss brutal qualifying all day this Saturday. Sunday eliminations begin at noon and feature Wild Bill Shrewsbury's brand new wheel stander. He'll be up against Ohio's Hemi Underglass. The absolute giant Grand Premiere this Saturday and Sunday at Irwindale.
920 was far on the mountain with Partial Mucker.
Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a discovered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Rolling them hills and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and sifting from 5 to 5, building everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bar. Then was the big thing, Lord, and then was the star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, rolling them hills and it's waiting for me there. And bloodlines, the footers of the street. Men were shot down for the sake of fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, rolling them hills and it's waiting for me there. Her man, she couldn't say. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried flame. All for use and no good, wordless pain. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, rolling them hills and it's waiting on me there. Fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, rolling them hills and it's waiting for me. Wait for me
KIIS. It's Marshall Tucker, 923. This is Elliot with you until 10 o'clock. Paul Anka having the time of his life with his camera. Take it easy now.
Good morning, yesterday. You wake up and time has slipped away, and suddenly it's hard to find the memories you left behind. Remember, do you remember the last
friend of Frank's. Can't see all that bad. Call like a Signs of Your Life at KIIS. It's 9:26 in the Bear of the Air one more time this morning. Oh, stamps are going. Stamps are going up. 13 cents tomorrow. And if you're smart, of course, I've reminded people before that they'll, go out and get their hands on all 10-cent stamps they can before they go up tomorrow.
All right. It's time to play Let's Look and try to laugh at Washington. Your remarks being apropos. Our first contestant this morning is Senator William Proxmire, who begins the Golden Fleece Award the first of every month, and he is now out with the biggie, the Fleece of the Year. Proxmire says that the Air Force is running a VIP airline for government biggies, including some of Proxmire's own colleagues in the Senate. The tight-fisted Wisconsin Democrat says there are 23 planes, big jets and little executive jobs, on call 24 hours a day with pilots and a flight crew trained to serve dinner and drinks in the air. And he calls the Air Force fleet the most wasteful program in the federal government in 1975. Also in Washington, the Secretary of Labor may be out of a job of his own choosing. John Dunlop has been talking at length about quitting since he worked so hard to get the common site picketing bill through, allowing unions to shut down not just one firm, but a complete construction site, even though they're just picketing one job. President Ford shocked Dunlop by vetoing that bill, then apparently told him he had to do it because of rising Reagan support in the business community. Now, that didn't help Dunlop, who thinks that his credibility with labor unions and Congress has been shot. He figures he's got no reason to stay on now, except that Mr. Ford wants him to. And, of course, the Postal Service, losing money hand over foot and about to run out of payroll cash as well, has won a court fight that did not really settle Judge Sirica's claim that they didn't follow federal law when they said they'd raise their rates. But anyway,
the new rates will go into effect at 12:01 a.m. local time on Wednesday, December 31st. And these new temporary rates will include 13 cents for a first-class letter and all the other rates that were scheduled to go into effect on December 28th.
That was the Postal Service speaking. In an L.A. court, the issue is not who Bill Harris is, accused SLA soldier who with his wife and Patty Hearst faces trial for kidnapping and robbery, but who he isn't. He is not the heir to a newspaper fortune. He's broke, and if he wants to change lawyers, does he have to take potluck? Yesterday, Superior Court Judge Mark Brander let Harris act as his own lawyer, but refused to hire a real attorney from San Jose to help him out. He said that backup counsel Ed Rucker of the Public Defender's Office would have to stay on the case. Now, Harris doesn't want that, and neither does Mr. Rucker. They have 2 weeks to appeal, and meanwhile, Emily Harris's lawyer, Leonard Weinglass, says there's something at stake here for all us non-radicals, too.
Everyone seems to feel very sacrosanct about the role of a doctor and a patient. No one should be put on the operating table without a doctor of his or her choice. Yet the same feeling doesn't prevail when someone faces prison and has to have someone speaking for that person in jail. I think it's a very basic right. I think it's a democratic right. I think facing the awful consequences of jail to force on an American citizen, someone who they don't want to help them, is really violative of a very basic thrust of democracy.
Southland doctors will give their views, negative ones, that we know already, on the newest malpractice proposal at Brotman Hospital over in Culver City in about another 90 minutes from now. Already, United Physicians says the plan for a state insurance company in return for less Medi-Cal money won't stop their slowdown New Year's Eve. There is now a major reward offered for the arrest of the bomber or bombers who killed 11 and injured 75 with dynamite in a locker at LaGuardia Airport, New York. But while authorities got a number of scare calls, including one here in L.A. for the TWA terminal, and a number of claims by one group or another that they did it, there is no clue worth talking about yet. Stock market activity is slow and downward this morning. In sports, a major breakthrough. In a Minneapolis court, a judge has ruled in favor of the plaintiffs in a lengthy lawsuit against pro football owners. The Players Association claimed the so-called Rozelle rule, which provides for compensation agreements to be set up by the commissioner, Mr. Rozelle himself in this case, between teams who swap players who played out their option, somehow limits their freedom of movement. Now the Rozelle rule is out, unless, of course, the NFL fights the decision. I'm Boyd R. Britton. L.A. weather, sunshine, partly cloudy this afternoon. High today, 65. Currently at the Civic Center, it's 56 in the Valley, 53. Orange County, 57. Here in Hollywood, 55 degrees.
Thank you, Boyd. 9:31 with Don Elliot in for Tuna on KIIS, AM&FM, Los Angeles. Zap! I got you. Your synchro sax. What does that mean? We've put your transmission in a bag to go. I'll work on it. Thank you. doing the Soul Yahoo. That's to Rock Your Baby at KIIS 934 with Don Elliott. KIIS and the National Safety Council wish you and yours a very healthy, happy, and safe holiday season. Remember, if you drive and drink, you may lose. It's not worth it. Speaking of open container, the new Who record is next.
Time is running out, so hurry! It's time to get your tickets to Disneyland's Gala New Year's Eve party on December 31st. And what a party it's going to be. With the fabulous Four Tops, the KIIS Corporation, Cy Coltrane, and Louis Bellson and his orchestra. Advance tickets are just $10, and they include unlimited use of Disneyland's adventures and attractions. Plus fireworks, hats, noisemakers, and a special midnight spectacular starring Skiles and Henderson, plus America on Parade. So get your advance tickets now at Liberty, Ticketron, Desmond, Wallach, and a Disneyland box office. Come to this New Year's Eve party December 31st at Disneyland. The fun goes from 8:30 p.m. until 2:30 a.m. So count on it.
KIIS at 9:38 Tuesday morning. Diana Ross is here with Elliot, your official Tuna helper, and Mahogany. KIIS. Mahogany. It sounds like an Indian word, doesn't it? 9:41. Don Elliot for Charlie Tuna with L.A. weather. Sunny, turning to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. It will be 65. Currently, Civic Center is up to 55. In the Valley, 52. Orange County, 57. San Bernardino, Riverside area up to 55 now. And currently here in Hollywood, it's 54 degrees. Tuna will be back on January 1st, by the way. He's on vacation. And, I hope he's enjoying his vacation, really, because he had to go to the mountains because of was it a respiratory trouble? Yes, creditors won't let him breathe. Edwin Hawkins Singers, Oh Happy Day. It's 9:48 already with Elliot, and it's time for Save-On's 3 great radio bargains, only now through Wednesday at Save-On drugstores. The big 12-ounce bottle of Mylanta liquid's only $1.29, and Aquanet, that's the all-weather hairspray in the 13-ounce can, is only 59 cents. And Super Lecithin, the natural kelp, vinegar, and vitamin B6 dietary supplement, 100 capsules, only $2.59. That's half regular price. Great money-saving bargains from your nearby Save-On drugstore, and they're open until 9:30 tonight. Size of those drums. Stop these bargains. 12-ounce Mylanta liquid, only $1.29. Aquanet hairspray, the 13-ounce can, only 59 cents. And Super Lecithin dietary supplement, 100 capsules, just $2.59. That's Save-On. A great place to shop. 9:48 in the Bee Gees on Process. One at KIIS, and time is tight, Booker T. You might say that. Jay Stevens is next. I'll see you tomorrow. Don Elliot reminding you to use a litter bag. Because cleanliness is next to Elliot-ness. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
It's 9:54, and two bilingual bandits who wore ski masks and who made their demands in English, Spanish, and Smith & Wesson have robbed Senor Pico's restaurant in Century City. They got $2,000 in cash, but they also got a turquoise jewelry collection displayed at the restaurant, which is worth some $67,000. The two came in just before closing time this morning down in Century City. I'm Boyd R. Britton.
This is news from American Contemporary Radio. I'm Bill Larson. Last-ditch challenge of the stamp hike. Details on that story in 60 seconds.
Let me ask you some questions. When a storm's been brewing, whose weather bureau helps your weather bureau give you an early warning? Who got all of the world's pilots and control towers to speak English so you can land safely no matter where you fly? Who's just about wiped out smallpox so your kids may never need a vaccination? And who set the standards of purity on the imported food you eat? Who helped you in dozens of ways you never dreamed of? The United Nations. Find out what the UN's been doing to help you. Send for the free UN booklet. Write United Nations Association, Post Office Box 475, New York 10017. That's United Nations Association, Post Office Box 475, New York 10017. There's always been a U in the UN. A public service of this station and the Advertising Council.
The cost of first-class stamps is supposed to go up to 13 cents tonight at midnight, but now there's a last-ditch attempt to prevent that increase. Lawyers for bulk mail users today asked Chief Justice Warren Burger to block the increase. The index the government uses to predict the future of the economy was up 0.4% last month. We asked ABC's David Garcia at the Commerce Department what that means.
The index had declined in September and October, so the increase in November certainly is encouraging. But it isn't big enough to indicate a new surge in the economy. Indicators such as general business, money balance, stock prices, and housing were up, but industrial production, which is a key indicator, dropped off. I'm told that the new figures indicate that while the economic recovery has leveled off, it is holding its own, and so far is not showing signs of reversal.
ABC's David Garcia. It apparently was a time bomb. It probably was dynamite, but it may have been a plastic explosive. That's what police are saying about that explosion at LaGuardia Airport last night. Police also say it may have been the work of a madman, a maniac, or people unconnected with any known terrorist organization. 11 people died, about 75 were injured. ABC's Joe Vaughn was at the scene this morning watching the cleanup.
Work crews working here to replace window panes that were shattered by last night's explosion with plywood sheeting. Other work crews inside just cleaning up, using brooms to sweep together the massive debris in the center of the floor. being very careful at the same time not to overlook anything that might be of importance in the investigation by police.
Correspondent Vaughn says the ceiling was totally ripped down from the baggage claim area at the TWA counter by that explosion last night. The body of CIA agent Richard Welch arrived back in the U.S. this morning for burial later this week at Arlington National Cemetery. Welch was assassinated last week by unknown gunmen in Athens. Pure speculation. That's what Algerian ambassador to West Germany says today about reports his government has given asylum to the terrorists who kidnapped Arab oil ministers a week and a half ago. Ambassador Mohammed Zanoun says the terrorists are still under the control of Algerian authorities. Manufacturers and retailers who offer warranties must put them on display. That order today from the Federal Trade Commission. The Commission says that's so consumers can become better comparison shoppers. A federal judge in Washington refused today to order the government to stop publishing and distributing a government booklet promoting the deregulation of natural gas prices. Two consumer groups had asked for the ban. Federal figures show Democratic Senator Hubert Humphrey of Minnesota has paid off nearly $900,000 in presidential campaign debts from 1972 for a few cents on the dollar, a total of about $35,000. Humphrey says he's not actively seeking the Democratic nomination this year, but the Federal Election Commission says a candidate must settle old campaign debts before starting a new campaign. This is ABC Contemporary Radio.
The California Court of Appeal has ordered a new trial for Inez Garcia, who killed the companion of a man she says raped her. Southern California hospitals expect a decline in services after January 1st. Area doctors threaten a curtailment of services, except in emergencies, as a protest against the cost of malpractice insurance. The Brown administration is hurriedly advancing a plan to drastically curb malpractice rates, but United Physicians of California says that won't stop their slowdown. On Wall Street, at 9 a.m. our time, the Dow Jones average off 0.87. A U.S. District Court judge in Minneapolis has ruled the Rozelle rule of the National Football League violates antitrust laws. The judge ruled in favor of 15 players who asked that the rule be cut out to allow them to play out their options and then negotiate with teams in a free market situation. However, his order is stayed pending an appeal by the football club owners. The season will be on the line for the Oakland Raiders and the Rams next weekend. The Raiders take on favorite Pittsburgh for the AFC title Saturday, and Sunday the Rams host underdog Dallas. Then the winners meet in the Super Bowl. Holiday Festival winner Indiana is the number one team again in the latest college basketball ratings. Number 4 UCLA had to scramble to get by first-round opponent Santa Clara last night in the Bruin Classic. Purdue beat St. Louis University and faces UCLA for the title in that tourney tonight. I'm Boyd R. Britton. L.A. weather, sunshine, then clouds increasing this afternoon. The high today, 65. Right now at the Civic Center, 56. In the Valley, 53. Orange County, 58. Here in Hollywood, 55 degrees at KIIS-AM&FM, Los Angeles.
Well, how do you feel about a little growth therapy this morning? No, that's an old line, but I have nothing else to say. It's the same old station, the same old times, 10 o'clock, same old disc jockey, same old song and dance. Can't dance to it, can't you?